We saw Secretary of State Mike Pompeo really point the finger at China this morning, not just over the origins of the virus, claiming that it did originate in that lab in Wuhan, but also accusing China of stockpiling medical supplies in the early days of the virus and of withholding information from the international community about the loss of life within China, about how rapidly the virus was spreading within that country earlier this year. Now, this morning, Pompeo said he had seen enormous evidence that the virus originated in Wuhan and in a laboratory, and suggested that the rest of the world is coming around to America's view of the origins of the virus. Take a listen.
There's enormous evidence that that's where this began. We've said from the beginning that this was a virus that originated in Wuhan, China. We took a lot of grief for that from the outset, but I think the whole world can see now. Remember, China has a history of infecting the world, and they have a history of running substandard laboratories.
Now, this is a different tone from what the intelligence community has been saying this week. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence issued a rare on-the-record statement about the intelligence assessment surrounding the origins of the virus. The intelligence community said they are rigorously examining whether this was transmitted from an animal or whether it came from the lab in Wuhan, but not issuing any kind of conclusion that the intelligence community has reached. CNN has reported that inside the administration, Pompeo has been pushing for intelligence related to the origins of the virus. And Fred, this week we heard President Trump struck a tone similar to Pompeo in saying that he too had seen compelling evidence that the virus came from that lab in Wuhan.